Welcome to Heart on the Altar, a podcast where nothing is withheld and it's all for His glory. I'm your host, Brittani, and welcome back. I am excited to jump in this week. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I'm pretty sure I am, but I am excited to just get right into another series, or another psalm. Welcome to Summer of Psalms. But most importantly, I want to make sure that you know a special announcement that we here at Heart on the Altar, we're going to be having our first ever women's retreat. So if you haven't heard, now you heard, cue the claps, cue the ha. I'm really excited. If you can't tell, like I said, you're going to hear about it at the beginning of each episode because I want to make sure that you register. We want to see you there. Last week I talked about the theme is going to be messy middle. How do we seek after Christ in the messy middle? And like I said, my entire life has felt like messy middles. And I'm so grateful. God has continuously been faithful to meet me there. So if you're on the fence, if you're wondering, should I go? This is your sign. This is the plane, the ship, the flag. I don't know what you need to see. Sign up, come and be there. Let's join in community. I know that is going to be something so powerful. So if you would like to join us, it's going to be on August 28th through the 30th. We're going to be up in Big Bear, so you can actually look in the show notes, look on my social media, DM me. I will give you the link. The price is $150, but if the price is something that you might be struggling with, please just reach out. I really want to see this community there. And spots are limited. I only have 20 more spots. So please join us. Ask the questions. Should you be there? Yes, you should. Why are you waiting? Brittani, I'm a mom. What do I do? We'll figure it out. Come on, call me. I'll let you know what I'm doing. We'll figure something out together. Okay, so join us. I'm really excited. Again, that's happening in August. I'm pretty sure when this episode shoots, it won't be August yet. I think it'll be the following week. But let's jump right in. I am jumping into Psalms 37 today. I'm also losing track of what Psalms I've done before Summer of Psalms. So if we repeat any, get over it, okay? Because obviously it hit me again. Maybe there's going to be a new revelation from the Lord, most likely because it's a living, live word of God. And I kind of have a short attention span. And now I think this is episode 40. Going back all the episodes, I skimmed through and I'm like, did I do that? I'm probably not going to do that right now. So 37, we have not hit this one. Why I am excited to read chapter 37 in Psalm is because when I started reading it, instantly I just was like crying. And a lot of you might think, Brittani, you sound like a very emotional girl. If you've known me, I'm typically not. It is literally the Lord. You want to see me cry all the time? Leave me alone with screaming children in my house, not listening, maybe my husband being a little sour. I might cry then. Or leave me in God's word and it is a mirror reflected of my heart, sobbing like a baby, thinking about the goodness of the Lord, crying, listen to someone's testimony. There you go. Give me a tissue. God has moved my heart and softened my heart in ways that I never thought was imaginable. Didn't used to cry ever. And now I'm a crybaby. The closer I get to Jesus, the more it seems like these eyes just leak because I'm just more assured that I really believe in God's truth and I really see myself for what I am. And often it is not pleasant. So let me just jump in because this one literally hook, line, and sinker, I was just repenting. Last week, we talked about David and how he was talking about, let's be quick to admit sin. And this was one of those chapters where I was like, yep, there he goes. Here's the sin, God. I feel so seen and I am desperate for you to help me right now. So chapter 37, if you were following along with us, you're like, Brittani, that is 40 verses. Don't worry. I will not read 40 verses to you right now because that will be a long time of me butchering some of the words on the way. But I'm just going to read verses 1 through 9, and I might pick a few others after that, but let's start. Psalm 37. Do not be agitated by evildoers. Do not envy those who do wrong, for they wither quickly like grass and wilt like tender green plants. Trust in the Lord and do what is good. Dwell in the land and live securely. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. Commit your ways to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act, making your righteousness shine like the dawn, your justice like the noonday. Be silent before the Lord and wait expectantly for him. Do not be agitated by the one who prospers in his ways, by the person who carries out evil plans. Refrain from anger and give up your rage. Do not be agitated. It can only bring harm. For evildoers will be destroyed, but those who put their hope in the Lord will inherit the land. Did you hear agitated a couple times? Because I sure did. That is what jumped out at me. I am very agitated by annoying people. I'm very agitated by people who are mean. I'm very agitated by people who just cause harm, who lie. I'm agitated by people in my own life who have betrayed me. I'm agitated by certain situations where people who go out of their way to make life difficult. Okay? That is where I was at when I started reading this. I was like, why did he have to say agitated so many times? Because I legit felt like God was like, hold up. Like, we cannot envy. We cannot look at people who are doing evil. We cannot look at them, their situation. They make more money and they're crooked in their businesses, or maybe they run a church and they don't care about the people actually that are in it. They have a family, but they over here doing stuff that they know they shouldn't be doing, living in deep sin. Whatever evil you want to call out, okay? Right here, David says, do not be agitated by evildoers. Do not envy those who do wrong. To envy those who do wrong is to desire, why are they getting away with it, God? Why haven't you just smited them? That's my favorite word when I'm reading reading Psalms, because I'm like, yes, destroy them like you destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, please give me justice now. And here, if you're seeing this is a heart posture. Have you ever, and maybe for you super spiritual people, you've never asked this question, but have you ever thought, God, do you know what you're doing when you're running the world? Like, there's a lot of evil here and you're not just shutting it all out. Why can't we just all live in peace and harmony? But maybe you're also on the other end of, you're not thinking about the whole world and its problems. You're not thinking about the orphans. When I think about, God, couldn't you just solve this? I think about the foster system. It is so stinking jacked up. And the stories I hear, oh, I could cry just thinking about it. The stories I hear are absolutely heartbreaking. The abuse, the just disgusting evilness, the heartbreak of hurt people, the cycle of someone who has never dealt with their trauma and they then are then enforcing trauma on their own children. It's dark. And I'm like, okay, like, so why can't this number be less? Or let's take it even more personal. Have you ever been betrayed by someone? Have you ever felt completely isolated? Has someone ever hurt you so badly by something they've said? Or maybe you've been in a place where you, it's just you. You feel like everyone's abandoned you. You feel like there should be some loyalty, maybe from your children, maybe from a job, or maybe you have had your own trauma and you don't know why God allowed it to happen. That is who I'm talking to here. That I can be agitated, I can be angry at, why does it feel like everyone is thriving and I'm over here crying my eyes out, surrendering to you? And so it starts there. And what I love about how it keeps going is it's telling you, do not worry. Those evil people, there will be justice. They will wither quickly like grass, like tender green plants. I do not have a green thumb at all. My brother-in-law literally was like, Brittany, you just got to water it. And then I overwater it. And he's like, you just put it in the sun. And then it sits in the sun for days and then it dies. And then I keep watering. He's like, girl, this thing is dead. I don't. Withering is what I know when it comes to plants. And when I think about the wither, when I think about something dying like that, I think about when we are called as Christians, when we are actively seeking after Christ, what does he say? When we're connected to the vine, what happens? He prunes us, but we produce fruit. We are connected to him. There's security in him. And so it's not like these evil ones who are outside of the faith. And there's some who are inside the faith. There are some believers who are stuck in their sin and they are just hurting people. That is also true. And God will deal with them justly. But sometimes I'm like, can you hurry it up, Lord? I want you to speed this process of bringing justice on them. And then right after David says this, he goes into my favorite word. We talked about it last week. We talk about it a lot here on Heart on the Altar. Trust. Everyone has trust issues, right? Trust in the Lord and do what is good. Dwell in the land and live securely. So to trust in the Lord is to really say, I believe you are who you say you are. And so therefore, I'm going to give you my life. And so it says, trust in the Lord and do what is good. When it's talking about do what is good, it's not you do good works, yay. It is continue on doing what God has called you to do, serving your family faithfully, continuously loving on others, the orphan, the widow, serving in your local church, giving generously. Continue doing those good things in spite of that person feels like they have it all together and God, do you see them? They don't even love you, but it looks like their bank account, the car they're driving, it looks like they're successful. He says, trust in the Lord and do what is good. Dwell in the land and live securely. When we dwell with Jesus, we are secure in him. We are all searching for security. That's what, it's our identity. I want to feel safe, especially those who have dealt in trauma, have never felt safe before. I want to feel a safety. That's what I love about being married to my husband. I felt safe with him. That was the key indicator before we were married. I'm like, I am a weirdo. A lot of you see me on here. Maybe you think I'm funny, but I'm weird. I am an extrovert, but I also I'm just a little wild at times. And I remember thinking, he saw me at my weirdest state, my craziest state, and yet he still chose to love me. And I remember thinking, I've never felt this before. And if I could identify a word, it's I felt safe with him. I felt secure in him. I knew his affection for me. So how much greater is that with God our Father, who gave his son? Jesus died for us. We can live securely and we can trust in that. We can trust in his promises. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desire. We talked about this on the first Summer of Psalms, that when we delight to love Jesus, to enjoy your walk with him, there is something about delighting in him that should identify that you're really walking with him, that it's not a chore to read your Bible. It's not a chore to go to church. It's not a chore to pray, but it's an invitation to get closer to him. And when you delight in him, that's when we are made more like God, because we're discovering more about who he is, and that transforms our heart. It transforms the way that we think. So therefore, when it says that he gives us the desires of our heart, our desires change the closer that we get to Jesus, they become less self-centered. They become more Christ-centered, become more people-focused on how we can serve his people, how we can share the gospel, how our testimony shares about the glory of who God is. And I love, love verse 5 because it just starts with commit. How many of you have commitment issues? I have commitment issues, okay? I don't want to commit to something because I'm like, what if I don't like it down the road? What if it breaks? What if it doesn't give me the pleasure that I think it's going to give me? I just I don't want to commit. I commit to plans and I'm like, "Ooh, do I really want to do that? I actually don't want to do it. Why'd I even say yes?" Here it's saying to commit. To commit is to roll over, to give everything. Commit your ways to the Lord. Give everything to God. Roll it all on his shoulders where he can handle it because he is strong enough to hold it. Commit all your ways and trust in him. How many times do we have to hear the word trust? Trust in him. Do not trust in your own feelings. Do not trust in your gut. Do not trust in your heart. Do not trust in your current circumstances, but trust in the one who never changes, who offers us hope, who offers us freedom from our sin, who offers us forgiveness. Trust in him, and he will. It's not he might. He will act, making your righteousness shine like the dawn and your justice like the noonday. He will answer your prayer. He will. There will be a day. Someone told me I think it was yesterday or the day before. They say, Brittany, I wake up and I want to go back to sleep. And it broke my heart because I'm like, please hear me now. God desires for you to delight in him, that it's not, I need to wake up and go back to bed because life's too hard. Don't try to hold it on your own. It will feel like that. There are days that I'm like, please just let the day go on. I need it to end. But that's when I'm trying to muscle it in my own strength. I'm trying to control it. I'm believing and trusting in my own thoughts. But when I really trust in him, when I rely on him to give me his joy, to make right the things that have gone wrong, to fix the mess that I've made, that is where his righteousness is shown through me. That is where his joy, that is where I get to see justice. That's when that happens. And then it takes us to be silent before the Lord and wait expectantly for him. It does not say, just wait and forget about what you're waiting for. When we wait expectantly, we understand who God is. We understand that he says, I promise to answer. I promise to be with you. So as I'm praying over something, I can wait with hope. I can wait knowing that this feels like the darkest season of my life. I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know why you closed that door. I don't know why this relationship didn't work out. Here I am. I'm going to wait for you to meet me because I know that you will. I'm going to wait for the joy that you offer to me because you say that as a promise that when I focus my eyes on you, when I remain in you, you will give me a perfect peace. You will direct my path. So as we are silent before the Lord, that doesn't mean we don't send our request. That doesn't mean we can't pray over something repeatedly. But it means that in our heart, we're sitting in just okay, I can choose anxiety, but no, I choose to believe. I choose to wait on God. I choose to believe that he will come. So be silent for the floor of the Lord. Wait expectantly for him. Do not be agitated. Have you ever been waiting on God and people are still testing you? Let me tell you, last week, the week before that, don't remember, but I got a text message that I was agitated. It was just evil. It was just mean. And I read it. And typically what I would do is I would call someone and I would rage about what that text message said. But you know what I did instead? I set my butt on my floor and I cried. And I said, God, that really hurts. And I don't understand why you haven't made this right yet. But please do not let me fixate on this. That was my prayer. I cried. I got up. I washed my face and I continued on with my day. That is not normal for me, but that's me starting to understand that I can trust him in everything. I can really lean in when people are agitating me. So when I read this and it resonated so deeply, it resonated. So that's why I'm bringing it to you because I hope someone is hearing me today. Do not be agitated by one who prospers in their ways, by the person who carries out evil plans. Often the people who are following the enemy, right, who have no desire to seek after Christ, they do look happy. I often question that. I'm like, God, if you say this is sin, but yet they are doing this sin and they look happy, is it really wrong? Why haven't you just fixed it yet? That's none of my business. I need to keep my eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of my faith, my high priest. I need to keep my eyes on him. When I keep my eyes on him, I am not extremely anxious. I don't have anxiety that takes me through the roof. I'm not playing the tape 19,000 times. I have not had a conversation with my imaginary opponent and I've argued and debated my opinions 17 times, and each time I'm even more frustrated. I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. We can refrain. That's what the next verse says. Refrain from anger and give up rage. We will get angry. Even Jesus got angry. We don't need it to lead us to rage. What is rage? It is when you see red. You can't think of anything but you want to hurt that person. And maybe not physically, because I don't always want to hurt people physically, but by my tongue, whoo, this can be the biggest dagger anyone ever sees. I will take out all of the knives to stab you. Guys, anger and rage can destroy us. When we choose to let our minds be focused on, God, how could you allow this to happen? That is what it encourages us here. Refrain from anger and give up your rage. Give it to God. Again, do not be agitated. A wise person, plenty of people say, when the word repeats something, pay attention. We don't have to be fixated on the wickedness, on the evil around us. Because have you watched the news for hours on end? It is devastating. You just feel so much more worry, so much more anxiety. We don't have to be fixated on that. It can only bring harm. So when we choose to allow our anger to then go into rage, guess what? Hurt people hurt people. We then become the offender. We then have to be the ones who put on our big girl or big boy pants and have to surrender our pride and apologize. Have to go before God and say, God, I've allowed myself to be controlled by fill in the blank. So God invites us. He invites us into understanding that he will bring justice. He will handle those who are the evildoers. They will be destroyed. But those who put their hope in the Lord, not their hope in their circumstances, not their hope in how they can better argue, better debate, not their hope in waiting for an apology, put their hope in God. They are the ones who will inherit the land. They are the ones who will get the promise of peace, of joy. And I'm going to jump to verse 13 because I legit laughed out loud. It said, the Lord laughs at him because he sees the day is coming. So it talks about the wicked person and their scheming and all that stuff. We think they're getting away. But the Lord is just that powerful that he's like, judgment will come. They still get the invitation to come and follow after God. But we do reap what we sow. We do. If you steal, you will go to jail. Okay? If we commit adultery, you will have to deal with the things on the other side of that. If that is divorce, if that is counseling, if that is whatever. If you indulge in drugs and alcohol, you will have to deal with the repercussions of that. Just because we receive forgiveness for sin does not mean we don't also still have to, walk through the consequences of our actions. But the beautiful thing about the gospel is that we do not do that without the hope of Jesus. We do not do that without forgiveness. He offers us completely utter, like, hey, it's okay. Confess your sins. Let's walk through this together. Okay, you've acted in rage. You've acted in anger. Give it to me. Roll it over to me. Okay, you're agitated. Let's talk about it. He is such a personal God. And in this season of my life, that's what I've enjoyed learning, is that there are times when I'm confessing things that I'm like, ooh, God, that is ugly. And never do I walk away feeling beat up by the Lord in a negative way. I always feel like, oh, thank Jesus that the price you paid on the cross is actually big enough to handle any sin, to handle everything that I'm laying before you. That when I truly try to trust you, when I truly try to keep my eyes fixed on you, when I truly try to seek after you, you are faithful. You will always meet me. You will never leave me. Guys, that is the hope of the gospel. That even in our regular days, in the moments where we're completely, absolutely agitated, when everybody gets on your last ever flipping nerve, we can surrender that to the Lord. When you're feeling completely, utterly lost, we can surrender that to the Lord. When you're absolutely heartbroken, when you lose someone you don't even know how to deal with, we can surrender that to the Lord. When you're in anticipation of maybe, I don't know, losing someone you love, maybe you see a job adventure not working out, maybe you're struggling with infertility, maybe you're struggling in your marriage, maybe you're just struggling with your own mental health, whatever that might look like. All of it, we can bring it all to Jesus. And we can know that he will handle the little fools, okay? You'll handle all those people on the other side, the people that have hurt us. But it is not our job to act judge and jury. Because if we were acting judge and jury, how much more should we be judged? I'm sorry, I should not be judging nobody, because if they looked at my track record, thank God my sins are not on display for all the world to see, okay? Because let me tell you, you would be like, I wouldn't do that. Like we do with the people in the Bible. I wouldn't dare. Why would I say I don't trust in the Lord? Why would I think he doesn't have everything under control? I don't know, whatever you think. But in the reality, we live in a fallen world. We were born into sin. God offers us new life. He is the light of the world. So we do not have to live in darkness. There's hope. There's joy. And so today, my challenge for you is to not focus on the evildoers, not focus on anxiety. What if you focused your eyes on Jesus, looked at where is he moving? How can you join him? Where is he moving in your life? Where do you see him moving in your church? How do you actively seek to be underneath the safety of who he is? Guys, we can choose to trust God, but it is a choice. We have to commit to him. We have to do the action. When it's talking about our role in responding to the gospel, it's verbs. We must do it. So what do you need to do today? Where do you need to shift your focus? Where can you surrender those who have agitated you, who have maybe a situation, a person? I know it came to me way too fast. Again, that's why this hit me so strong. So I encourage you to do that. If you need someone to talk to, please reach out. I would love to hear. But guys, what's so important is that we remember that when we put our whole heart on the altar, when we really seek after Jesus, We do not do this alone. We do this under the safety net of His promises, of who He says He is. And we're doing this together. As I'm learning, as I'm spitting it out to you guys, I hope you see that there is hope, that you can have an authentic relationship with Jesus. It does not look perfectly, but what He does offer, He offers Himself, who is perfect. So guys, if you liked this episode, would you like, share, and subscribe? I would love to hear more about what hits you in these episodes. Please reach out. If you have my phone number, text me. If you want to join us at the retreat, the link is in the show notes. We would love to have you. So remember, a heart on the altar is a heart that is fully His, nothing withheld, and it's all for His glory. I'll see you guys next week.